Good morning. Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to Yarn on the Beach. This is episode 87 and we are here in Southwest Florida, Bonita Beach to be specific. And this is the Gulf of Mexico behind me. We're waiting on the sun to rise over the trees and the buildings in the east. And I'm just working on a knit shrug. If you're joining me live this morning or if you're joining me in the recording later, please say hello, tell me where you're from and what you're crafting on today. Good morning everyone, thanks for joining. Hi. Good morning everybody, thanks for joining me this morning. Glad you could make it. It's Thursday. Been having trouble remembering my days this week. Hi, Donna, Annie, Melissa, Faye, Jenny. I missed a bunch others, I'm sorry. Good morning, Anna Maria. Good morning, Leanne. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Patty. Hi, Angelina. Thank you, Sarah. I am wearing the Jordana cowl from my new book, Motif Magic. I have it with me. I can show you. The cowl I'm wearing is from Motif Magic and it is the Jordana cowl. This one here. And the shrug I'm working on is coming along very nicely. This is done. Good morning, Olivia. Oh, Sarah, I'm so glad to hear that. Yes, Angelina, there will be a video of this, so if you can't join in the live this morning, you can definitely watch it in the playback later. Good morning, Nina and Terry. So the shrug is coming along. We're in the home stretch for sure, so it's a 2-ball project and it will take both balls. And when I get close to the end, I'll be doing a decrease for the cuffs on both sides and then sewing up a little bit up the arm. So you can see, I mean, it could actually be, I'll stand directly, it could actually be a shorter sleeved shrug now, but I may as well see how much of the yarn I can use and see how long I can make it. I would prefer for it to be a little longer than elbow length when it's all said and done. No, Jenny, it's done in bands of garter, no, not garter stitch. Jenny's asked if it's garter stitch. No, it's bands of stockinette and reverse stockinette. So you work in stockinette for 5 rows and then reverse stockinette for 5 rows, and it gives you this really subtle but beautiful stripe. Isn't that pretty? I think it really shows off the colors of the yarn well too. And I think it looks pretty on because the stripes will end up being vertical across your arms and your back when you wear it. Thank you, Olivia. This is Be So Sporty yarn in the Bling collection that has a thread of pure silver plied into the yarn, and then I hand dyed it to look like our beautiful sunrise here on Yarn on the Beach. Maybe not so much this morning sunrise. I don't see as much of the peach and coral that we normally see, but otherwise it is very close to the colors we see on other mornings. I will be doing other colorways in the Bling collection, but this is the first color I've done so far. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Annie. I'm glad you like it. It's actually a pleasure to work on because it's so simple that, oh, Jean had snow overnight. Wow. That is nuts. Be careful if you have to drive in it today. It's a super simple pattern, which makes it really wonderful for talking, like I'm talking with you this morning, or for taking it to the Knitting and Crochet Club, because I can not only talk to everybody in the club, but I can also set it down quickly to help anybody with their projects, and therefore it's a great project to take there because I can set it down and pick it back up and know where I left off. Okay, great. Terry got her book yesterday, Motif Magic. Someone else is going to post photos in our Create, Share, Inspire group on Facebook of some projects she's been working on. That's great. Annie sent me happy Easter wishes. Thank you. Happy Easter to you as well. Oh, Sarah, I'm so sorry about that I felt horrible about the YouTube problems, and I couldn't believe how long it lasted too. I was starting, I don't know, I felt so sad. It was devastating. But anyway, it's done, it's over, we're back, and we're all together again, and I could not be happier, and I'm so happy that you guys feel the same way. There are no fires here to put out this morning. There's no crimes to solve at the beach this morning. Feeling good about that too. That was so stressful yesterday morning. My adrenaline was running high well after I left the beach yesterday. Good morning. Video for first time knitter. Yes, Terry, I have tons of videos on my YouTube channel. I'm somewhere between 600 and 700 videos now. But I have tons of videos for how to knit and for beginners. You just have to either search on my channel or look through some of the playlists. I even have a how to knit playlist, so you can look through there and find all sorts of things. For any of you that aren't familiar with how you can organize things, yes, Faye, wouldn't that be pretty? A smoke or fire colorway would be really pretty. I have been thinking about a neutral smoky color, like, yeah, anyway, we'll talk about that later. I haven't really, it hasn't totally meshed out in my brain yet, but I do have a neutral colorway in my head. Oh, great, thank you, Annie. Annie, you're in India, right? I believe that Motif Magic was picked up by Amazon India this week, so very exciting. You can order it in your own country now as well. Christy wants to learn to knit. Yes, you absolutely should learn to knit. I've got lots of videos on it, and if you want to learn something specifically, let me know. The next project that I'll be doing a video series on, the first project that I did a video series on last week from Motif Magic was the Elena shawl, which is crochet. And then the next one that I'll be doing a series of videos on, hopefully next week, will be the Marissa shawl, which is knit. So I'm going to show you step by step how to make this project with a series of videos next week, starting with how to make the motifs, how to join them to the shawl, how to make the shawl, and then we'll finish up with the last video being on how to block the shawl. There'll be a lot of information, lots of step-by-step help, and we'll go forward from there. Some of the ladies at Knitting and Crochet Club this week decided to make that in a thicker yarn. I'll show you the original. Morning. Let's see, I know it's in here. Here it is. Okay, so the Marissa shawl is knit, and it starts with these beautiful motifs at the lower edge. You make the motifs first, then you pick up and knit and work bottom up construction for the whole shawl. This is done in Crushed Berries, Lilac Memories, and Stormy Sea. And then I have a second version of it done in Harbor Fog, Stormy Sea, and Jaded Peacock. And these are both in Be So Fine yarn. But two of the ladies at Knitting Club decided they're going to do this in Be So Sporty yarn, partly because they prefer working in sport weight than fingering, which I totally understand, and they want the shawl to be bigger. So imagine this as a larger shawl. I think it's going to be stunning. Personally, I think it would be beautiful even in one color as well, because you'll still see those bands. Because see how they're lace offset with garter stitch? So even in one color, you would still see this patterning in one color as well. So I think when I do the tutorial, I will be doing it in one color and doing it in the thicker yarn to show the different variations. Morning. Thank you. Thanks. Yes, Jenny, it would also be beautiful with fringe, absolutely. And I would highly recommend using one of my fringing techniques that you can watch as a knit or crochet video of doing the twisted fringe so that you don't have to cut the yarn in between. That would be really pretty too. We've got new people down at the beach this morning. People are surprised by the podcast. But it is spring break, so I guess that's what it's all about. It's probably what the teenagers starting the fire were here for yesterday, because school wasn't out yesterday. They're probably on vacation too. Oh yeah, Jenny, I would definitely recommend doing it on Tender Celeste. Good idea. Good morning, KB Fibers. Good morning, Grace from Illinois. Thanks for joining. Good morning, Elizabeth. Dawn's blocking a vest. That's great. Good morning, Edna. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see. Oh, I missed a couple of Sandra wants to learn to knit also. Yes, definitely. There's tons of videos. I have tons of videos on knitting on my YouTube channel. So you just have to start somewhere that speaks to you, and you can definitely learn to knit. Good morning, Fairy Dust Bunnies. Grace says the Jordana cowl is her favorite. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see what I can see now today. This is, oh, Jenny, if you post something on of one of my patterns on Instagram, please tag your ball coming up over the east. Got several walkers this morning. Some sort of a sandcastle remnant here. Thank you, Olivia. Here's Dolly the Wonder Wagon. And we have the beach to the north, and you can see there's lots of people up there. It's chilly but mild this morning. Good morning, Julio. Or Julio, I'm not sure. Dawn taught herself to knit before the internet. Me too. I taught myself to knit and crochet about a week apart when I was newly pregnant with Marlon, living overseas, and had no access to the internet or to patterns or to even people that could help me learn to knit or crochet. So I learned all by myself in a very isolated environment. But I was determined to make baby booties and baby things before Marlon was born. So Annie, it's 5:30 p.m. where you are. Oh wow. Edna just finished making the molten lava shawl with my yarn in Parisian Bordeaux colorway. Oh, I bet that's beautiful. Oh, that's the same color I made mine in too. Carol, I'm so glad to be back, and I'm glad to see you back as well. Thank you. I appreciate everybody joining me for Yarn on the Beach. This is so fun to have all of you here. Oh, this morning I'm drinking green tea. Yeah, it's a little tougher to learn things without the internet, that's for sure. The internet's such an amazing resource for learning. I'm drinking green tea with fresh lime juice this morning. 5:03 a.m. for Faye. Wow. So we've got a 5:30 p.m. and a 5 a.m. That's crazy. That's awesome though. Good morning, Charlene from Philadelphia. Good morning, Julio. Oh, Brazil. You're in Brazil. Did I say 9 a.m.? I missed that. Sorry. Spice cider. That sounds good. Somebody learned to crochet when they were 12, I think. I'm guessing it's around 8 a.m. here, but once I put my camera to the live stream, I can't see what time it is anymore. I'm guessing it's somewhere around 8 o'clock though. I try to get down here around 7:45 in the morning. But it depends on Marlon's schedule. With the time change, It's 8:04. Okay, thanks. With the time change, they've adjusted the beginning of training in the morning based on when the sun comes up. So it was normally 7:30, it went to 8, it's back down to 7:45 now. So probably we'll be back to 7:30 soon. And when it is, it'll be easier for me to get here on time at 7:45. But I get here as soon as I can, and I know you know that. I don't even know how late I started yesterday because of the fire, but oh well. Because I was already running late when I got here, so I'm guessing it might have been 8:15 that we actually started yarn on the beach. I posted a photo to Instagram this morning. It was a collage. Sandra learned to crochet as a child but never knit. Okay, that's all right. There's no right or wrong way to be creative in crafts. Sometimes it's doing multiple crafts and sometimes it's doing one, and it's all good. And you know, when something speaks to your heart, you'll want to learn something new. People ask me all the time, what would be a great first project to learn blank? Whether they want to learn to crochet or they want to learn to knit. And I always say, find something that speaks to your heart, because that's where you'll find your inspiration to really be open-minded to learning something new. Because when you have that enthusiasm for learning something new, you'll pick it up that much quicker. Yes, yarn is yarn, right? Yarn is yarn. And there's other crafts that we all love too. Oh, Edna, yeah, I would love, my sewing machine's still broken. I still need to figure out if it's repairable and if I can find somebody that locally that can fix it for me. I dropped it on the floor. Don't know how it fell on the floor. Fell on, and I have another sewing machine that was hand-me-down, gifted to me, but hasn't been used in 10 years, and it's actually a really nice machine, but it needs to be serviced before I can use it. So I really need to find a repair shop here locally that's good and hopefully not too expensive, and I need to take all these machines there, which will probably be expensive, but until I can do all that, I don't have a single machine to use yet, so new sewing patterns will be a while still. And I'm still so busy doing everything else that I haven't made time to add sewing back to the list, but I would love to. Good morning, Sydney from Castleberry, Florida. I know where that is. I used to live in Altamont Springs many years ago. Dawn loves to sew. I do too. I love to sew as well. Good morning, Anna. Yes, Faye, I believe it. Crocheting and knitting has helped me through a lot too. Oh, Grace saw my apron yesterday. Good. Well, hopefully when your machine's not broken, you can make it. It is so cute. It would make a great gift, and it just fits so nicely. That style of apron is called a pinafore, I think, and it just fits so nicely. And I have deep pockets in the pattern. I think you'll really like it. The patterns make it the pockets make the pattern very functional. That's what I'm afraid of, Anna. With my sewing machine, it's probably cheaper to repurchase it. But with the one that was gifted to me, it's a really good machine, so I will probably need to service that. Edna, you mean a knitting or crochet tutorial? Then I don't know what you mean. Good morning.
Hi, my last day on the beach.
Oh, it's your last day? Oh, okay.
We'll be back in next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see you in the fall.
Okay.
And you're staying, right?
Yeah, full time.
Yeah, okay, me too. So I'll see you, but have a safe trip home.
Yeah. Okay,
bye. They're saying hi to you. Oh, Edna wants a crochet sundress. Okay. I do have some dresses coming, definitely. Oh, Jenny, you saw it. Yes, I finished the rose canvas wall hanging yesterday. Did some videos for it, so I will be, should be able to post that video later today. The dress with the yoke. Dress with the yoke. Well, I showed photos of a white dress and a purple dress recently. The yoke is, there's just so many patterns. It's so hard to remember one from the other sometimes. I'm sorry. Yes, Olivia, I do like Tunisian crochet. One of my favorite blankets that I made and never published yet, don't ask me why, is done in Tunisian crochet. I've got lots of them. Annie, let me think about that. Let me think about recommending a sewing machine for you. I'll get back to you on that one. I have to think about it because I can't remember the name of my machine, but I thought that it was a good mid-range machine. So when I go home and take a look at the name, I will definitely let you know. Yes, sometimes people call Tunisian the Afghan stitch. That's true. There's all sorts of beautiful stitch patterns in Tunisian, and gosh, you can do things that are dense with it, like rugs and what do you call it, hot pads, and it's good for Tunisian also, good for felting as well, but it also does beautiful lace, and it works up really quickly sometimes too, depending on the stitch. I like Tunisian. But depending on the size of the Tunisian project, sometimes you need to have a whole separate set of crochet hooks because you need them to be either longer or have a cable on them. I've been trying to do a convertible system of hooks. I would like to be able to manufacture hooks that have the option of adding a cable to them, but we have not been able to prototype it correctly yet. So still working on that. So I would like for your original hooks to just be capable of adding a cable to them, and haven't been successful in the prototypes yet. But we're getting there. Yep, I am familiar with Denise. That is correct. They make plastic ones, right? I'm looking to do something in a natural fiber. Now, can you use those hooks without the cables on it and then they're regular hooks as well? I know the waves are making really nice noises this morning, aren't they? They're louder than they were the last couple of days, but not super loud. Just medium and beautiful. Always beautiful. Any luck, I'll have this shrug done by Monday. That'd be great. Depends on how much knitting and crochet time I'm going to get this weekend. Oh, Anna, yeah, that's probably a good idea for maintenance, except for the older machine. Maybe I could do that. You're right. The newer machine has been broken from a fall, so I'm not even sure if that's repairable. KB's not going to have much time this weekend, neither am I. I have offered to do the photography for a 2-day party for my friend's mother's birthday, and it's going to be out on Sanibel Island, so it's quite a drive from here, and I'm not sure how long the parties are going to be, but I'm going to be the photographer, so I'll definitely be busy both days, and that doesn't sound like major knitting or crochet time at all. So I won't be knitting or crocheting then. Then Sunday, possibly have some time, but I would also love to sleep a little bit on Sunday. Oh, happy birthday, KB! No, I'm not going to be cooking Easter dinner this year. I got some hospitals to visit, and I'm going to go to someone else's house that's doing the cooking this year, just to make life a little bit easier with everything that's going on in our family right now. Ah, KB's getting birthday wishes. Yay! I love that. Love watching all the conversations going on. Thank you, Cheryl. I hope you have a nice Easter as well. And happy Passover to those who are celebrating Passover this week. Jenny loves this group. Me too. I think Sarah asked my one family member is now in hospice, so not doing so well, but you know, we're just getting through. Susan, nope, you're here live. Good morning, Susan. It's definitely busy down here. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. It happens to everybody's family eventually. Oh, Faye, you celebrated your 4-year-old grandson's birthday yesterday. How fun. 4 years old is a fun time to celebrate birthdays. They finally are starting to get it, right? Well, good morning, Susan. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Charlene. I appreciate it. It happens to all of our families eventually, right? So it is what it is. It just kind of sucks the celebration out of holidays a little bit. So I'm glad that we got invited somewhere else this year. Hi, Bertha. Thanks for joining. Hi, Karen. Thanks, Monica. Thank you, Darlene. I appreciate it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Charlene. All right, well, we are almost out of time, so let's take one last minute here to soak in this gorgeous view and the sound of these amazing waves and set our intention for the day. Oh, what music those waves are making today. Love it. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy morning or whatever part of the day it is for you to spend time with me. I appreciate your time very much. Hopefully you enjoyed the sound of the waves and the sunrise and catching up with me and everybody else here. If you like Yarn on the Beach podcast, please like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel for more videos. Follow the links in the video description below to shop for my yarns and other products, as well as follow me on all different types of social media and download my free patterns and watch all my other tutorial videos. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.